So welcome to our panel. I'm happy to have you all here. Thank you. Last year we talked about project operations, implementation, about our customers' journeys. And I'm happy that this year we have a new topic that nowadays AI is not a hype anymore, and it is our reality. And a lot of our customers are at the different stage of this AI adoption journey. So today we would like to have an open conversation about what is working, what is hard, what is challenging, and what you find useful. And maybe you can give some insights to those customers who are looking into the AI adoption. So I would like to ask you to briefly introduce yourself, your company, and where at the moment is AI has a role in your organization.
All right, then I can start. Hello to everybody. So my name is Sabine Breuer. I'm the head of Sales and Service Process Management at TROX. TROX is the global leader for developing, manufacturing, and also selling components for ventilation, air conditioning indoors, and also brand protection or fire protection. And yes, we have started with AI, also being inspired last year at the proMX Summit. And yeah, I'm very looking much forward to this discussion right now.
Thank you. My name is Wieprecht. I'm working for Zeiss Digital Innovation, which is part of the Zeiss Group. Famous for glasses, optics, but also manufacturing semiconductors and the tools for that, consumer goods, a lot of other things. And we are currently, Zeiss Digital Innovation is the partner for the business lines to implement their digital projects, to provide services and development teams for the Zeiss Group and in different setups. And we are currently using AI tools at several levels, but it was quite a journey, and we wanted to be early to the party, but we were held up by several topics.
We'll talk about that.
Yep. Hello, I'm Rudolf. I'm Processing and Tooling Manager at Thüga SmartService, and we are definitely late to the game. We are a service provider for the German utilities and energy market, focusing on smart metering, billing, and all the boring stuff.
All right. William, then I would like to start with you because you are in the very beginning of your AI journey, and I would say the challenging part for you was the approval process. So could you tell us a little bit more, because usually we talk about AI in terms of use cases, in terms of KPIs, but in a lot of large organizations, this approval process, especially when the AI adoption starts from the bottom to top, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort.
Quite true. Yeah, so as I said, especially our developers were very keen on getting to know and using the AI tools that were provided. And we wanted to start off with the topics, but we faced quite some headwinds from the corporation as we are very restrictive in terms of information security, in terms of data protection in our corporation, and especially our corporate IT had a lot of processes for the approval of new tools, and even when starting our implementation project with proMX, we had to wait 8 months for the approval to actually start this journey with proMX. Yeah. And same we were facing with the AI tools. First, we were allowed to use an application of Chat GPT called Zeiss GPT, because here we were allowed to actually adopt the ChatGPT to the Zeiss environment and also host it on-premise, and other tools had to be checked more thoroughly that no secret data about production, for instance, leak off and get public knowledge where it shouldn't be.
Were there any particular business use cases that helped you to convince?
We have a number of use cases in mind, but for starting off with the AI journey without project operations in mind at the moment, especially our developers were very keen on using the tools and to get the GitHub Copilot ready to use for them. That was quite difficult as well, as especially in the development projects with the business lines, it needs to be ensured that no protected data get public knowledge.
Thank you. Rudolf, you have a different situation. So in your case, approval was an easy part, but you had a very challenging use case with the contract management. Could you please tell us more about that?
Being late to the game sometimes is a benefit. So we didn't start with an AI strategy. I don't know where it is. So we simply found a pain point. After introducing project operations, we had over 20 years of very individual contracts to put into the system. And after almost more than a year, we saw that this will take a lot of time. And that was the easy in, the door opener in German. We created a simple process which is not so fancy like many things we saw, but our contract, we didn't give it a name. The first function we've introduced was simply read the contract, create the sales order with all the needed details. And within a short time, we digitalized 99% of our contracts. And this was the eye-opener for everyone. So we will not start with our own GPT or chatbot, because we're still struggling with using the computer sometimes. So we are hiding that behind some background features like this. So simply put a contract into a folder, wait a moment, and then everything is on the screen. It's like magic.
And you mentioned that some of your employees are not very advanced in using computer, and even some of the solutions like Dynamics or SAP. So how the AI journey looks like for them?
Just like I said, so no direct contact. So separate these two. So our users are specialists in their field. They can recite a whole law book at every time in the day with problems. But if you ask them to enter some formula in Excel, they call the support. And that's the reason why we are hiding it. For example, like I said, put in the contract, everything will be given out. Many users need to find data online or in some PDFs. And this is simple, tedious work. Nobody likes it. Nobody does it on time. You always have to remember them. We simply build them a button. So finding something which is public knowledge on the internet, also not so fancy, but something AI can do for the user. So now they have a button, again, magic, and they love it.
Great. So we see that AI does not replace people, but it actually empowers them. So Sabine, in your organization, where you are very advanced in using Copilot and you're building speech recognition agents and also a framework for AI, calculating AI cost optimization or process optimization. So how it looks like?
So first of all, I can agree what you are saying. So it is always a balance between business and IT security, I would say. So this is the really challenge that probably everybody of us have or will have, even if you're not further away, because there are so many tools in the market you could use. We also have our own GPT, like you have, to keep the information inside and not spread it out. So we know, all of us maybe know that I think Samsung had a big issue when it came to use ChatGPT. That there was like a code published, and everybody of the competitors were able to read the code. So I can agree, or I understand why the IT security is very well looking at that, that you keep your information inside, of course. So yes, coming back to the framework, I think we are trying to balance the IT security with the business needs, actually. And this is why we created like a framework. So we heard of these points before in those presentations, because it is important to know, or to get all the people into the loop using AI, getting some benefits out of it, starting with little use cases, and then but having this framework. Okay, so which AI tools can you use for your businesses? What are the use cases you're using? Who is responsible for supporting these use cases, to develop it, to figure it out, to publish? And how does the process look like? So if you're finding new tools, to be also very secure. And what we did is to create this kind of framework, and we also were thinking of using an AI agent to answer those questions, because once you have the data, once you have it documented, what is the process, who's responsible, then it is pretty easy to create an agent and keep all the information that an agent can answer your questions. So this is what we're gonna do, and this is what we are heading off. Yeah.
Thank you. So looking into the next 12 months, because before when we talked with you, I was asking you about 2 years, 3 years, maybe maximum, but considering how quickly AI develops, I think that 12 months it's more realistic number. So what are the use cases that you want to solve with the help of AI? And what are the obstacles that you see at the moment?
Should I do it again?
I would ask all of you the same question.
Okay.
You want to
Okay, then I start again. So yes, we saw at the one of the presentations that 90 days is more or less when AI changes or can change everything. But okay, 1 year. So I think the importance is to make the knowledge of those experts internally accessible for a lot of people, and that you get rid of repetitive tasks that you're doing, that more and more users are using AI for their day-to-day work and see the benefit out of it. And probably also to implement agents when in the org chart. So it is not planned yet, but maybe in 12 months, let's see where we are. But I think this is the future. You need to be at the very first beginning of the start to use AI and to use agents, and to make it as simple in the first steps as possible, because it shouldn't be a very complicated agent. So make it simple, because everybody is using presentations. So have something that creates your presentations. Have something that writes nice emails. Give you some answers from experts and stuff like that. So those are the first steps, but also to have like something speech to text. So this is what we are working on to support the sales guys, to have AI on that, to create out of your speech, like everybody's using WhatsApp and chatting maybe with a voice. So it makes it quicker and easier to implement all the interesting information in a CRM to directly transfer it into the CRM.
William?
Okay. So looking at the next 12 months, I hope to really get my Microsoft Copilot license, which I'm still waiting for after it had been blocked by the CIT, then by the Workers' Council for several months. It's now blocked by some missing feature. So I hope within the next weeks to get it, actually. And then we have the plan to prepare a support agent for our go live of project operations within the company, and then we would like to go forward with some of the ideas we saw in Dublin. For instance, the time entry, time tracking agent, the automatic approval agent, and also the use case for getting a first planning idea, a first draft that then can be adopted by the project manager.
Thank you.
When introducing project operations, we had a lot of trouble with some people who were used to do something for 10 or 20 years the same way. And we are still moving processes into Dynamics, project operation, Power Automation, whatever. And what we are trying now is not simply take this old process, put it into Dynamics. We are currently looking into which is the next one, and what are the pain points again, and where we can help. So maybe make it easier with the new system than with everything what came before. With simple things, repetitive tasks, everything what they've said, just a little bit, not so complex.
What would be your advice to those companies who only start their AI journey? Maybe just a short one, brief.
Yeah, it will be brief. Like I said, find a pain point, show the people what you can achieve with that, the benefits, and then I think it will come organic. And of course, having somebody on the council who is also on the team helps. It's me.
Yeah, same actually. Look at your processes, find the most beneficial use cases and get them ready, and also get them ready to answer questions by your information security officer or whoever wants to know what you actually plan to do with it.
Short, 3S maybe, simple, structured, and scalable.
Great. Thank you so much. So if you have any questions to our guests, please raise your hands. Then I will come up to you with a microphone. No questions? All right. Yeah. Okay.
Three very different experiences across the board there. See that you have three very different experiences across those teams. If you could try and provide, if there was someone sitting in this room that is just starting now, and if you had one piece of advice to help the people that are resistant to change within their organizations, what would you tell them to do?
Maybe I'm not the best one to answer that, because our people were quite eager to learn. What we did, however, to get everyone on board was to prepare trainings by an expert group who started early, and by role have the trainings that help the people understand how they can use the tools.
It depends on who is resisting. I was simply calculating the time and the money we already invested for our use case in students and also internal work power. And I forgot the number, but it was big enough for the CEO to greenlight it almost immediately. In our case, it was simple.
And I would also add, the users need to see their benefits. So it's like, how can I convince you, if it is easier for you and that you can spend your time in more valuable work, and that it is easy. So imagine during COVID, a lot of companies changed from paperwork probably to digital work. So that was also, everybody was against, I can't work without paper. So if you convince them with their benefits, it's easier. So like, it's just clicking that and you have it. So probably that.